This podcast is brought to you by Elite Level Status Wines. My wine journey started with drinking cheap grocery store wines that were really acidic and gave me headaches. Then I switched to quote-unquote luxury, but overpriced, full-bodied wines that were really heavy and had a bad aftertaste. The inability to find the perfect wine led to the creation of Elite Level Status Wines. Elite Level Status Wines are approachable, medium-bodied wines with great flavor and minimal aftertaste. And with me being a health-conscious person, I wanted to create a wine that was lower in sugar and lower in calories than the full-bodied mass-produced wines that we always see. We currently have two wines. First is our Cabernet. It has notes of blackberry, cinnamon, plum, nutmeg, and French vanilla. Then we also have our rosé wine. Our rosé is going to be a flat, dry, pink rosé with subtle strawberry and raspberry flavors. Both wines are medium-bodied wines with less sugar and less calories, and they're both available on my website, elsfinewine.com. Check them out, and I hope you love it. Thanks for clicking the link and checking out the Elite Level Status podcast. Since you're here, I have a special offer just for you. It's 15% off either of my wines. So click the link below and check them out, and I hope you enjoy the podcast. Today is about building self-confidence, building self-love, building your body. So I brought in the perfect guest. Her name is Nikki. She's in studio. Nikki, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
For sure. So I have a lot I want to get to, but first, give us your background. Where and how did you grow up?
So I'm originally from Mexico City, but I was raised in Sacramento, California, northern Sacramento. Then I moved out here like 8 years ago to Vegas, which I love the city. We're very spoiled here in the city, honestly. Basically, my mom's a single mother. Eventually, she met my stepdad, but I'm like the only child. I've always been a very a lone wolf, but a happy one, I would like to say. Yeah.
I love that. So, you are big into fitness and you're a weightlifter. Where does your passion for fitness and lifting come from?
Honestly, my passion became when I found myself at a very low mental place. I started really wanting to work on myself, and it was more of an outlet. So working out and focusing on that really helped me with my mental a lot. And so from there, it kind of grew on sparking the curiosity of wanting to know more.
Love that. So this was part of a self-improvement journey.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, I love that. So with that, how has lifting shaped the way you see yourself?
Lifting has shaped the way I see myself by making myself more disciplined.
Yeah, for sure.
So really just following a routine, showing up for myself, even on the days that it's not easy to show up for myself. There's days where I would rather just not go train, not show up for myself. But 99% of the times that I do, it makes me feel so much better because I'm mentally, it helps me so much. So
wait, how do you work through the times when you don't feel like going to the gym?
Honestly, by understanding that it's a feeling.
Okay.
It's a feeling I'm feeling sad, it's it's all an emotion, and just making sure it's the goal of knowing if I fall off, it's just not going to help me in the long term. So it's the same thing with eating. There's times where you I don't want to eat my meals, but it's knowing that if I don't eat this meal, it's not going to help me gain muscle mass. It's just all a feeling.
That's one of the best answers I've ever heard, because it's you don't want to do something. Why do you not want to do it?
Yeah.
And it's understanding that. So if you're sad or whatever the case is, that can be why you don't want to do what you know you have to do, right? And understanding that essentially helps you be motivated. I love that. What's something that weightlifting has taught you that people who don't lift wouldn't understand?
What is something that weightlifting has taught? That honestly, you're stronger than you think you are.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, you could do it. There's so many times where a set gets really hard, but you probably have like 2 more left. And it's just
Right.
pushing your mental capacity to the next extreme, something that weightlifting taught me.
And that's a metaphor for life.
Mhm.
You know, when things get hard in life, you're stronger than you think you are.
Yeah.
You have more in you.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really deep as well. Okay, so you balance strength and softness really, really well. How do you still stay feminine while being a weightlifter?
Honestly, so the way I stay feminine by being a weightlifter and like soft is I've always been like a girly girl. So like I've always loved everything that has to do with makeup, getting ready. Like, so me taking the time to like put on makeup, me taking the time to do my hair, and then just adding weightlifting and going and training is like doing 2 things that I love and kind of combining both worlds into one.
Right.
So that's how I feel like I stay feminine throughout it all. And I know a lot of people will judge other girls for showing up with makeup and taking the time to like do their makeup and do their hair. And they're like, this is not a fashion show. But at the end of the day, it's like whatever makes you feel the best to
For
show up
sure.
for yourself, you know? And it's pushing you to show up for yourself. Like at the end of the day, we don't live for other people. We live for our own being.
I mean, that is facts. That's absolute facts. I love that. So you're a fitness creator and your content is top notch. When did you decide that you weren't just posting, you wanted to start building a brand and building a community?
Yeah, first, thank you. I appreciate that compliment. I decided that I was building I wasn't just posting when I decided that I wanted to post with intention. Like I wanted to inspire others. Like if it was just by a little bit, like them seeing me cook a home meal or them seeing me every single day at the gym, like inspire that spark of like showing up for me. I guess what I'm trying to say is like me showing up for myself, I wanted to inspire others to do the same for them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I was like, okay, this is more intentional.
And you come across as very like relatable in what you post. How do you protect yourself and protect your confidence from negative comments online and also unrealistic expectations?
That's actually like a great question because not so long ago, I had someone reach out to me and they were like, oh, like you should probably, train with this person because this person is obviously on a deficit. And so when you're on a deficit, when it comes to like body recomp, you look really like buff, you know, you look muscular, like you look great. But when you're not really on a deficit and you're in a building phase, you're going to look fluffy. You know, there's muscle underneath.
Right.
There's muscle underneath, but you're obviously building. So you're not going to be as conditioned.
Yeah.
It's like really just knowing what you're doing it and why, like keeping those negative comments that's them. That's personal.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they feel. Like I'll never sit somewhere and be like, oh my God, like you look horrible. Like that's just something I would never do. Like, because that's not the type of message I'm trying to put out.
Interesting. Yeah. So it's almost like the people who are talking negative, they're never doing more than you. They're always doing less than you. And it's a bigger sign of how they feel about themselves.
Yeah.
Than as opposed to something that you're doing.
Yeah.
Self-love and confidence are very important to you. What's the difference between real confidence in real life and social media confidence?
Real confidence to me is knowing, like, no matter at what stage your body is, it's knowing that you're working towards something and not having somebody else jeopardize that. Mm-hmm. You're confident within. If it's during a bulking phase, if it's during a deficit, like you're confident within, like you know your why. And then social media confidence is showing up for others the way that, someone's going to view you because obviously like this is you viewing me through a lens and it's showing up and trying to make sure I'm presenting the right message.
I love it. So you are building a community. Can you explain ideally what you want your community to look like? What type of people you want in your community as well?
Ideally, someone that wants to change, even if it's like sparking a curiosity into change. Someone that needs guidance because we all started somewhere, I've been through the coaches. I've, failed in my bulking. Like I've been through it all. So I but it's nice to have someone reach out and be like, hey, like how can I start doing something, or do you have any advice? And me being able to give that back. So honestly, like anyone, if you're like an expert to like if you're not an expert, you know, like if I could help, like that's what I would want to do.
So in your personal journey, like have you gone through coaches and learned from them, or is it more, are you self-taught? Like how have you trained yourself to get to where you're at currently?
So I have had a couple coaches. I've had one time I had a coach for my nutrition because I needed to get that locked down. Like then I've had a coach for when I was thinking of competing for wellness. I got hired a coach, and she taught me more about like my macros. She gave me a split like of how to do my workouts and stuff. But I also spend a lot of my time doing my research. I love to just throw on a YouTube video of a lot of like the athletes that are like high up, ranging between wellness, bikini, and taking tips from like their trainers, you know? It's a lot that you could learn off YouTube and then applying it to my lifts. It's just that has helped me so much in the long run.
So with this community that you're building, in a perfect world, you want people to be reaching out to you, and you're kind of like a mentor, coach, consultant for the people in your community, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. Do you eventually want to like monetize this? Or is this more something of you just giving back and offering value to your community? Like ideally, what do you see?
Ideally, like it's just the giving back. If it's even like just giving back to 2 people every 2 months, like, you know, it's just giving back, being helpful, you know, making it a safe place for others to come and join and not be afraid to ask any question. If it's like the silliest question you could think of, like just making it a safe place to give back. You know, I think that is like truly what fulfills me, like me being able to see other people and then be like, hey, like I really used your training technique my last glute day. I really felt it there. And it's just from me learning from others that gave back to me. You know, it's just in a way a train, like passing it on.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. And you're obviously comfortable being in this leadership role, because that's what this is. You're a leader amongst your peers and in your community, and you seem to be very comfortable with that.
Yeah.
I love that. So how does your fitness routine affect your personal life, especially when it comes to dating? Like, do you think guys are intimidated by women who lift?
So to break those questions down, the way it does affect like my dating life, it's like I could come off selfish. You know, because...
Wait, why? Explain that.
Like selfish because it's so hard for me to get out of my routine. Okay. It's so hard for my person to plan some spontaneous trip, spontaneous day, because I'm very much a wake up, make my food for me to prepare to train, get ready, go train, then like get some steps in, do cardio if I need to do cardio, then come back home, cook again, and next thing you know, it's like the day's over. You know, so it's very repetitive, very much like I have a hard time letting that go and being like, oh yeah, I'll go and do this, I'll do that. So it's very, in a way, selfish because I put myself first a lot. But I also try to be mindful about that. You know, sometimes I'm like, okay, like I won't go do cardio, or like I won't be stressing out, especially if I'm like really locked in. And when I had my coach, it's like, you have to check off those boxes, you know?
I mean, well, I love your answer there, because I feel like most people would be like, I expect my partner to understand that I have a routine, and you need to change what you're doing in order to fit my routine. But for you to take kind of like the self-accountability and say that, yeah, that makes me seem selfish, and that's why it affects my dating life. I feel like this is a lot about you.
Yeah.
And I feel like your relationships are going to end up being good just based off that answer you just gave, right? I feel like that's not typical in my opinion. So I definitely love that.
Yeah. But to answer your second question, because I didn't answer the second one, do I feel like it could be intimidating to men if a woman lives? I feel like the only time it can, I'm not saying all men, I am not saying this at all, but the only time it can be intimidating to a man is when they see a woman put herself first, have the discipline to show up when they don't do that themselves.
Yeah. Listen, you're not going to get any pushback from me on that. Like, I agree. I agree. Does this affect the type of person you're attracted to? Like, would you like date a guy with like a dad bod?
Would I date a guy with honestly, not to say I wouldn't date a guy with the dad bod, but I mean, for my like my person, like he's active. Is he like, is he strict like I am, or does he get obsessed with it the way I do? No, but he very much does live that lifestyle, or we share that lifestyle. And I think it would be hard for me to be with somebody every single day if they didn't share that lifestyle with me by a single bit, because that's my person. Like, I want to know that they care to get up and show up for themselves in an active way.
I mean, that's very understandable. Okay, so with that said, describe your ideal partner. Ideal. What does he provide for you? How does he make you feel?
My ideal partner is someone that loves himself, someone that puts himself first, someone that takes care of me. And I'm not talking about like financially, takes care of like my mental, takes care of my heart. That's actually useful, that has dreams and aspirations. That's a good person. That is like my ideal partner.
I love that. Are there any automatic red flags?
Yes.
Okay, what are some of those?
White lies.
Okay,
like
explain.
Somebody that like does a little white lie. Like I can't really take someone seriously that lies, even when it's something small. Like I think that's where I draw the line. Like I don't really like. I like honesty. Like I like when you're honest and transparent with me. A red flag would be just a liar. Yeah,
I can understand that. Now, do you think that carries over into like your other relationships with like maybe your friends? Maybe coworkers, colleagues. Do you see that the same way?
Yeah, I do see that the same way. I can't really like associate myself with people that they're not honest, Because I would want to have someone, even my friends, my social group, to be brutally honest with me when I'm messing up, even if it's the hard thing for me to hear, because that's the people you want around. You don't want a yes man around all the time. Like that's just not good for you. You're not going to grow in that environment.
I mean, that's facts. That's definitely true. If you do catch someone in a white lie, what do you do then? Do you cut them off? Do you address it?
It depends. So if they're like a close friend and they do a white lie, I do address it. I'm like, you don't have to lie. Like it's just a white lie. Like just tell the truth. Yeah. And even like there is times where I could do a white lie, but it's, why am I going to lie about it? Yeah. I'm just going to tell the truth, But if it's somebody that I don't know, then it's just kind of much like, okay, well, if they're lying about something small like that, what other things are they lying about? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Nikki, if there's someone that's watched this and they want to follow you or join your community, how do they do that?
You can follow me on Instagram at Nikki Macias, NIKKIMACIS. And that's pretty much my platform.
Okay. So if someone has a question or something, they just DM you?
Yeah, comment. Just feel free to reach out. My DMs are always open for any kind of advice. I'm always here.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, I wish I would have came with some more questions for you. Your answers are great. Like very, very, very impressive. Like I think you're definitely going to be very successful in whatever you choose to do. I love the kind of self identity that you're building. I love that you're trying to build a community. I feel like you're a leader. So I would just encourage you to continue to build what you've been building, and you're going to get whatever you want out of life. So
I know. Sure. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming in. Elite Level Status Podcast. I'm Will Scott, and we'll see y'all next time.